guys, this is Lala Legacy and welcome back to another episode of Seabed. So, let's just jump right back in. Takako opened the living room door and disappeared beyond it. The door closed behind her with a thud. I could see the orange rays of the evening sun reflecting on the polished wood. The room fell completely silent, with only the distant cawings of ravens from outside reaching my ears. My reading was interrupted by the sound of the rice cooker signaling that the rice was done. I slid the bookmark into my paperback and left it on the sofa. Stepping into the kitchen, I opened the fridge. I grabbed all the eggs from the holders on the top shelf of the door, then reached for the oil and a bowl in the bottom cabinet. After cracking the eggs on the side of the bowl, I discarded their shells in the garbage basket below the sink. I picked up a pair of chopsticks and parted the two pieces ever so slightly, then began gently moving them back and forth to mix the white with the yolk. As I was doing that, I heard the front door behind me unlock. I heard the floor creak, and the living room door opened. "I'm back!" Takako left the shopping bag on the table and pulled up a nearby chair to sit down. "Welcome home." Leaving the bowl with my mixed egg, I moved to the kitchen and checked the contents of the shopping bag Takako brought back. I found a pack of sukiyaki meat with a bargain sale sticker on it, some chrysanthemum greens, I don't know how to pronounce that, shirataki. What about the soy sauce? It should be at the bottom! I found it under the shirataki bag. I thanked her, and she responded by raising her arm. Once I got out everything I needed from the bag, I brought them to the kitchen. I left the frying pan on the stove. I turned its knob 3 times until the flame lit up, then drained the oil from the frying pan with a kitchen towel as I heated it up. There was a beep, followed by the sound of the TV. As the probability of rain remains high, we recommended taking an umbrella in the event of going out. It was the weather forecast. They said it's going to rain tomorrow. Huh. I reached out to the bottle of Mensiu on the cabinet and dripped a few drops of it into my egg bowl before stirring the mixture with my chopsticks again. Once I was finished with that, I spilled about half of what was in the bowl into the frying pan. A sharp sizzling sound followed. I rotated the frying pan so the beaten eggs would cover its entire surface, then popped the bubbles that would appear on it with my chopsticks. A delicious smell began to fill the entire kitchen. I like how this game is just basically telling you how to cook eggs. I could hear the sound of changing TV channels from the living room. "Are you frying eggs over there?" Takako momentarily stopped fiddling with the remote control. "Yes." The eggs in the frying pan started to congeal. I folded the whole thing in half with my chopsticks. I drained the oil from the newly opened area with a kitchen towel, and after moving the folded eggs, drained the other half as well. Finally, I unfolded the egg and spilled the rest of the bowl's contents on it. "Smells like we're having a feast tonight." "You're about the only one who gets excited over sukiyaki and a fried egg." "I love fried eggs!" As the egg began to harden, I folded it again, while also making some minor adjustments to its shape with my spatula. "I'm pretty sure this is a dream, though." "Oh yeah?" "Yes." "I see." "Well, I don't care as long as I get my food." Me. As I sat up from the sofa, I immediately clutched my head in response to a sudden sharp jolt of pain. I glanced out the window to see the sun already vanishing beyond the horizon, and a few stray stars shining in the night sky. My laundry was all neatly folded next to my feet. There was no pot on the dining table in front of the TV, nor any shopping bag on the other table. I stood up and peeked out of the living room door to check the boxes. They were indeed gone. I closed the door again, then turned around and stuffed my dried clothes into their designated drawers before getting ready to make my second dinner tonight. Okay, now we're back in the work office! I closed the window behind my desk to keep the autumn cold out. Oh, now it's autumn! Upon returning to my desk and glancing at all the documents littering it, I tapped the middle finger of my right hand against the desk surface a number of times. I read through a document and signed it with a pen from the pouch to my right. There was a field for the date next to my name. I looked away from the papers to the wall behind the rest of the office desks. Fixed to it were a round clock and a whiteboard listing our schedules. It contained our names, whereabouts, the times we'd be leaving the office, and other information. The names listed included Mizuno Sachiko, Oita Fumi, Inakai Takahito, and Sawatari Annalise. Above Mizuno Sachiko, there was an empty space with traces of Takako's name on it. Fumi, can I get your review on this? I added the date on the whiteboard to the document. I'm a bit busy right now. Inakai handed a memory stick and a bundle of freshly printed files to Fumi. Fumi took out a color sample from her desk. What is it? The poster for the fireworks festival. I see. I'll give it a look later. Oh wait. Whoops. I messed it up. So, what is it? The poster for the firework festival. I see. I'll give it a look later. Just leave it here. I only made a few minor adjustments, so maybe I can just hand it in like that. Inakai glanced at the paper in his hand. Are you confident it's okay? More or less. Make sure to attach your photo to the thing so everyone knows it's your work and not mine, okay? I have some extra ID pictures. Can I use them? And make it look like those vegetable packs you often see at the Whole Foods market. You know, the one with the pictures depicting the farmer who grew them. Fumi handed Inakai a pen case with drawing instruments. I'm getting worried about this. Fumi, can you look at it for him after all? I'm almost done, so I'll make sure to check it today. I put an end to the game. Inakai gave Fumi's desk, covered in plush toys and textbooks, a quick glance and placed the paper there. Hey! Don't put it on my plushies! Fumi lifted the paper off the top of a little round sheet, and then put it into a plastic case that served as a scaffold for a pile of textbooks on her desk. I could see Takako's barren desk beyond it. There was only an empty glass jar on it, aside from a few papers intended for the new employee taking over her job. What the heck happened to her? A bell similar to that of schools reverberated in the room. Oh, go outside. Inakai left the office. I opened a file, and after picking out a few colored pictures from it, slipped them into a brown envelope alongside the documents I had signed. Fumi stood up as I was jotting down the zip code, seemingly having finished her job early. Did you bring your lunch today? I'm sorry, I couldn't wake up this morning. I see. I'll drop by a convenience store on my way back. Would you like something? No, I'm good. I see. I opened the bottom drawer, stuffed the envelope inside, then locked it. I pulled out my wallet from my handbag resting next to the drawer and stood up. I'll be off then. Later! I addressed Fumi as she was on her way to the kitchen. the bell affixed to the corner of the cafe's door gave off a chime. I sat down at the corner and ordered a 1-coin lunch. As I absent-mindedly observed the steward in the black and white suit prepare a coffee, someone rose from their seat at the back of the restaurant and stood behind me. Sachi! I turned around to see Narasaki raising her hand in greeting. Oh, you were here? I was waving at you when you came in. I didn't notice at all. So I've seen. I was starting to wonder if this was some elaborate game on your part. Hold on. What the heck? That was really loud. Okay. It was like shaking my whole apartment. Anyways, I'm not into things like that. Narasaki placed the saucer with her coffee on the counter and sat down next to me. What did you order? Lunch. Did you eat already? I was enjoying a cake. A cheesecake with green tea? Nah, I tried something else today. You come here a lot? Yeah. I told you this place was close to the clinic. Narasaki crossed her legs and beckoned for the steward, ultimately ordering another cup of coffee. You came here before lunchtime? I came about 30 minutes ago. I finished my morning shift early. Well, I guess that's usually how things go anyway. The steward came over and placed 2 cups of coffee on the counter, one for Narasaki and one for me. Thank you. Narasaki passed my cup to me. Before long, I received the salad part of my lunch set as well. Coffee and salad? That sounds so gross. Do you know what a farinben is? Narasaki addressed me as I stuck my wooden fork into the salad. What? Farinben. Never heard of it. Yeah, I guess you wouldn't have. What is it? Even I've only heard about it for the first time last week. One of our patients was crying that he had lost his farinben. You should have asked him about it. I placed a forkful of salad into my mouth. I could feel the taste of the traditional dressing and the onions spreading across my tongue. It's common practice to change the subject when a patient starts talking about something strange, so as to not encourage their delusions. So it was just something he made up in his mind? Well, the same patient came to the clinic today and was overjoyed about having finally found his farinben. Curiosity was gnawing away at me, but all I could do was say I was happy for him and end the conversation there. Narasaki took a sip of her still steaming coffee. Farinben. Yep, farinben. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing this right, but that's how I'm pronouncing it. I put a slice of tomato in my mouth. It melted in my mouth with a cool sensation and a hint of sweetness. I'm afraid I have no idea what it could be. But it doesn't sound that weird to say, does it? Like, it gives you the feeling that you might have heard the word somewhere. I'd say it's entirely possible it might have come up in a picture book or something. Narasaki placed a palm on her forehead, making an excited smile. I don't get it. Do you get a lot of these things at work? Absolutely! When you work with these kinds of patients, you tend to hear an unusual word here and there, like beam surfer. What's that? This patient would apparently wake up laughing in the middle of the night, but come morning, he could no longer remember what cracked him up to that extent. But since he was laughing that much, he figured it must have been something hilarious, so one time he left a pen and paper next to his pillow before hitting the sack. He woke up laughing as usual, but jotted down everything before going back to sleep so he could remember. Then morning came, and all he found on the paper were those 2 words. Makes me wonder what's so funny about it. I don't know. Nor did he. As I finished swallowing the last tomato, the steward brought the main dish, a sandwich with smoked salmon and cream cheese. Ooh, that sounds good. It was separated into 3 pieces to make it easier to eat. I wiped my fingers with a napkin, picked up one of the pieces, and put it into my mouth. Then I took a gulp of the coffee, which had now cooled off just enough to be comfortable to drink. Feeling the warmth of the cup with my palms, I glanced beyond the counter to see the steward washing some dishes. Narasaki added a few spoons of sugar to her coffee. After I finished eating lunch, I told Narasaki about the dream I had yesterday. So you made her dinner despite knowing it was a dream? Yes, Narasaki chuckled. I got a little excited, I guess. I haven't spoken to her in ages. Well, good for you. But as I said, it's best not to encourage this kind of thing. Narasaki gave me a brief glance. I suppose that's true. Otherwise, it might end up interfering with your everyday life. I know that. But doesn't it make for an interesting story? It might also severely disorient you. I'm aware of that too. Narasaki stuffed her hands in her pockets and leaned in closer to me. Do you have any medicine that would make it go away? Well, why not drop by my clinic? I could prescribe something for you. I'll think about it. No need to be scared. It's the kind of place that's frequented by housewives when they have no one to talk to. Narasaki spun around in her chair and stood up. I think I should be going. All right. Once Narasaki had left, I finished my coffee, paid for everything, and exited the cafe myself. I glanced up at the narrow patch of gray sky visible between the buildings surrounding me, noticing more and more clouds scattered about it. I checked my wristwatch, then crossed the street and entered a convenience store. After I picked up a drink and some gum to keep me awake, I returned to the office. That's something I don't understand either. How does chewing gum keep you awake? Well, I mean, I guess like the movement of your jaw, but I don't know. New characters popped up on the monitor with each new tap of the keyboard. White letters on the black backdrop of a CRT screen. Sun rays fell in stripes on my desk through the slits of the blinds. My slender fingers, the nails on their ends, all well kempt, were tapping away at the keyboard, following a rhythmic pace. At times, I could hear the passing of cars and nearby trains in the distance. I saved the presentation file and paused to rest my hands a little. Pushing my chair away from the desk, I extended my legs and stretched my back. I surveyed the outdoor scenery through the blinds. Spots of white clouds could be seen drifting along the blue sky between the towering buildings. The afternoon rain that accumulated on the asphalt sprang into the air each time a passing car rolled into it. I pushed my chair back, returning my silent gaze to the monitor. The flickering CRT screen displayed the particulars of a presentation detailing our company's restructuring. As I was confirming the slides, Fumi emerged from the kitchen. She placed a steaming cup on my desk. Have some tea. Thanks. Have you finished already? Fumi looked at my monitor. Yes, the deadline was tomorrow, but it seems like I'll be able to finish it today. In that case, we might be able to finally take a break on the weekend. Yeah. I'd appreciate a little change of pace. I know. And then I'm guessing she's back. Nope, she's not back home. She's still at the office. I collected the documents in a binder, which I then placed on the top drawer of my desk. I placed all the scattered writing utensils back into the pen holder. The hands of the wall clock indicated that it was a few minutes before midnight. Out of the 4 other office desks, Fumi was the only one yet to be cleaned up. Inakai went home before we started our late night overtime, while Fumi was currently in the bathroom. It was dark as pitch beyond the windows. My office office phone rang, and I promptly picked up the receiver. Hello? I'm locking up the building in 10 minutes. Are you going to need the lights for the night? Oh, whoops, that wasn't Fumi. It was the night watchman. The office door opened and Fumi came into the room. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. What about you, Fumi? Me too. I gave her a nod and removed my hand from the receiver. Oh, we're leaving right now. All right. Don't forget to lock the doors. Of course. I placed the receiver back to its place. Let's go. Catching the last train could be tough. Need a lift? Fumi tapped her skirt pocket to draw attention to her car keys. No, I'm good. I might need to drop by another place first. I see. Alright. So that is all the time that I have for this episode, guys. If you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up down below. And if you haven't already subscribed, by subscribing, you're becoming part of a legacy. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!